Welcome to the Northern Cincinnati Business Talk. We are so excited to be here in Sharonville on Mosteller Road with Brighton Tru-Edge and Cincinnati Commercial Contracting. These two chamber members partnered on a new facility on the Brighton Tru-Edge campus. One of the things the chamber loves to do is bring their chamber members together, partnering on projects, and this was certainly one of those. So we're very thrilled to be here today at Brighton Tru-Edge with Adam Hawk and with CCC, Cincinnati Commercial Contracting's John Westheimer, and they're going to talk about the start to finish on creating a new building on this campus.
My name is Adam Hawk. I'm the president of Brighton Tru-Edge in Cincinnati, the north side of Cincinnati in Sharonville, and we are North America's largest cold form tank manufacturer. So what we do here is, if you've ever been through a brewery or a distillery, what we do is we make the tops and bottoms of those vessels. So take a round circular piece of steel and form it into what looks like a contact lens. We supply those all over the US for the chemical, oil and gas, pharmaceuticals, food and beverage, and really any products that you use that are in liquid form. We've been in business since 1914. I'm the fourth generation. Alvin Hawk created the business in 1914, started hammering copper kettles for the local confectionery. So Cincinnati's big on candies, ice cream, that bakery type market. So making vessels for, again, the ice creams and a lot of that, which we still do in the local region. So fourth generation, it's been passed down. It's no longer owned by the Hawk family, but is owned by a holding company or private equity group here in Cincinnati, and they are all located here as well. So this is the first building that we have erected in probably 20-25 years. So for us, this process was pretty new about, do we do a bid build? Do we do a firm price? So this process for us was fairly new. So having CCC here with us was very important because they kind of walked us through the process. And we had a lot of reservations as we went into, how do we do this? And they did a great job of walking us through. Here are the options, gave us multiple proposals, and let us choose what option fit our need.
I'm John Westheimer, president of Cincinnati Commercial Contracting. This is a first generation business from about 40 plus years ago. And we met Brighton because of a guy named Matt Herdeman, a long time employee, called us because we were active in Sharonville, and Matt understood there would be challenges and was happy that we were connected into the system, the government, and how to do things here, and it helped a lot. Because we are in a floodplain, and we are challenged. There were challenges to the construction that Sharonville government had to help with.
So through the bid process, what we did is we took probably 4 or 5 different bidders, went out, gave them an idea of what we were looking for, and then came back to kind of narrow those bids down. And what was really unique is within the portfolio of companies, we actually have a structural steel group that erects buildings. So we had a pretty insightful piece of information that said, hey, here's where pricing is. We were able to take CCCs, and we were transparent. We said, hey, we have a supplier in-house that can provide this for us. And John said, well, why in the world are you coming to us? And ultimately what we came back with was, this is the city of Sharonville. We've got opportunity to create jobs and continue jobs here in Sharonville. We got a grant from Sharonville. CCC knows all of the government officials as far as getting the permits through. This facility is in a floodplain. So there were a lot of components that went into, all right, here's the everyday bid. Here's what CCC brought to the table for us locally in the advantages, and really gave us a comfort feeling that with what they have to offer fit what we were looking for.
Thank you.
So one of the stipulations that we had pre-construction was we can't shut the plant down. So this is an operating plant where we run 2 shifts, and our customers, especially through this process, had very high demands for products. So that was one of the stipulations that we had for John and CCC was we'll be able to carve out a part of the facility for you guys to execute, but we can't interfere with any other operations. So John, how did that play into your method of construction and how you plan on executing this?
Okay, so we're used to working in an operating factory. We've been doing it for 30 years, gotten pretty good at it. For us, it was a key to doing a good job for Brighton because, everybody wants a good job. So that was, we worked with Matt and Jeff extensively pre-construction to look at the possible problems, and then during construction, constant communication. Several times a day, I'm sure, because we keep a full-time superintendent on site. He's familiar with the operation. So during the building process, Adam, do you feel we were interested in Brighton's welfare and production?
Yeah, absolutely. So what was unique about this build for the business side was the machine that you may be able to see in the background here is one of 2 in the world. So deadline for us was critical. Admitting this to John now, we did have some float in the back end of his schedule because most construction does not go to plan. And as John neared the end of the project, the date they gave us actually met up with the date they promised at the beginning of the job. So as much as we pushed them through the job, we said, it's got to be done by this date. We had some reserve in the back end of that to be able to make up for it if we needed to. So the building was finished before the machine arrived here in the States. So this is the first time I'm telling John this, but just a testament to the reliability of CCC and why they're the right contractor for your job.
I mean, this is important to us that we get done what people ask you to do. We make proper representations that are of value to you. And that way we develop a good relationship, hopefully for the long term.
Yeah.
So the challenge was they've got trucks, machines running through this yard. We had to bring utilities from buildings to the north, and we couldn't. So we had to schedule that very carefully. And that's what the constant communication is valuable for, because they would have to give a little, we would have to give a little, but we always had to hit the deadline. And actually, we know people have extra time usually, but we make a point of hitting the deadline. So when you did, we call it construction manager risk, the process. Were you comfortable with that going in, or did you were nervous about what that would bring?
Yeah, we ultimately selected that contract structure. And really, John, from the beginning that I was apprehensive on it.
I remember, yeah.
It is a situation that you have to have a lot of trust in the contractor, because you're really hitching your wagon to their horse to your wagon from the beginning. And really, as you develop the plan, it rolls right into a firm price and through execution. So what it does is it creates a faster track project, which we needed. We were late to the game on getting this started, so that contract structure was very beneficial. Through the beginning, John said, I operate more of a handshake deal than I do contract papers. And the world we live in today is very different, where everything goes through attorney review. Here's the contract, let's go through that. And the whole time, John said, we're going to do this, but it's all going to be in the garbage at the end. He said, my handshake is what you buy when you come to CCC, and that's what you deliver. We never turned to the contract through the execution. It was always phone conversations. We'll make it work. We're going to make it right. We even had some contingency in the job for weather delays and some other things that I was actually shocked to get back at the end of the job, where they said, hey, we told you we had this bucket of money just in case something goes bad, and here's the check for that money back. So in a lot of cases, contractors have the ability to slide that money into their pocket. John was straightforward, and CCC came back and said, here's your check, which gives you a good comfort feeling that that's the character that we're working with.
Well, that's our goal on every job. Be good people.
Thank you for joining us on Business Talk today. Be sure to visit our website, northcincy.chamber.com. You can look for our events page, see the things that are coming up. You can see who the members of our chamber are and contact the ones that are of benefit to you. And you're always welcome to visit our events. Thank you.